Teams are on the finishing process of the warm-up. It is what's going to work out to be an Irving Oil AAA Major Bantam Hockey League contest here at the 2017 East Coast Ice Jam. The Canada-Cases Valley Kings take on the Dieppe Flyers here on 5TV1. My name is Dan Hobson. Glad to bring this one to you. Quarterfinal Saturday here. We started the day with 16 teams, and by the time we're finished, we'll be down to just 4, as there's other major Bantam action taking place over on sheet A. Going to be a good call. Gareth McDonald has that one as we are getting into the final stages here of the East Coast Ice Jam. Canada-Cases Valley advanced here with a win over the Tri-Pin Ice 3-2. And the Dieppe Flyers, well, they had an easy one. A 14-0 romp over the Jonell Gem Cougars. You could kind of say it. They scored 2 touchdowns on that one now, wouldn't you? So we're hoping to have pretty good action here, and it should be a tight game as we get to the starting goaltenders. Tommy Rowland out of Moncton, New Brunswick. 7 wins, 1 loss. That's in the regular season in the New Brunswick Major Bantam Hockey League. And Jeremy Delacqui, 3 wins, 8 losses, and a 5.43 goals against average. Gets the start for the Canada-Cases Valley Kings. They're in the dark jerseys. The Dieppe Flyers in the white. Pucks dropped, and we're underway. Quarterfinal Saturday here on Bell 5 TV1. It is the East Coast Ice Jam. Flyers looking here for first chance. Savoie, stellar performance this morning. Had 3 points in that 14-0 win over the Jonell Gem Cougars, representing Nova Scotia in the East Coast Ice Jam. There's Savoie once again. Sends it wide of the neck. Cedric Bastarache having a pretty good tournament. Yannick Bastarache having a pretty good tournament. Makes a nice move. He'll go cross ice. Savoie walks in, gets a shot. First, it's going to be knocked down with a high stick. As the referee calls it, and he'll bring it outside the line with just 53 seconds gone here in the first period. And when I talked about the high scoring here that the Flyers put up in their morning contest, that's something that the Canada-Cases Valley Kings may want to keep an eye on as well. Try to not go to the penalty box, because anytime that the Cougars went to the box, Dieppe made them pay on the power play. So that's definitely a key here if the Kings want to win it. And of course, Flyers want to, of course, enforce pressure and make the Kings take penalties, and that's going to be where the key of this matchup is a centering pass, and unable to connect is Stanger, Pete Stanger. A lot of these players from the Canada-Cases Valley Kings are from the Quispamsis area. Only about 6 are not. And one of them out there is from Mushwash, New Brunswick, and that's Drew Elliott. He's the leading scorer there. He's center in the hash mark, number 91 in the black jersey, and has the puck now. 22 points in the regular season. That leads the team. And the Flyers snuffed that one out. Here comes Bro. He's the one that started the big onslaught this morning. Got the first goal of the game. And in the meantime, he's denied that chance there by Delacqui. As whistle stops play, as we're coming up to the 2-minute mark here in the opening period. A little bit of a tied draw, but it's going to be Dick out of Westfield, New Brunswick, who comes up with the puck. He'll send it over to Cam Squires, has his pocket picked, and a nice effort here by Arsenault. Arsenault also had a fantastic game out of St. Charles, New Brunswick, 4 points this morning. Cole Cormier, pass a little bit too far out of the reach there of Dominique LeBlanc. As I said, pretty well almost every Flyer scored here in the game this morning. The only one that didn't was Shediax Platis. Gladys was the only one that did not get a point in the game this morning. 12 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Here in the first period, a little bit of pressure here by Dieppe. And the KV Kings need to make a change, dump it down. Flyers coming back 4 strong. Lucas Corbier, that's a shot. It was going to be wide of the net, but coming out was Delacroix to make the stop. Kings get to the center ice no further, dumped in the rest of the way by Black. And the Flyers will regroup here. A bit of a 2-1-2, pardon me, set up here by the Flyers. Lead pass there, deflects into the netting with 11 minutes and 38 seconds to go here in the opening period. Still awaiting our first goal, and sometimes with Major Bantam, the goals have come pretty quick here at the East Coast Ice Jam. This one looks to be a little tight, but these teams know each other, so they'll probably know who they've got to contain, who they've got to check. Speaking of check, coming up there was Nick Connors out of Grand Bay. Thought he had his man lined up, but the Dieppe Flyer got out of the way just in the nick of time to avoid the big hit. 11:22 to go. Here's Isaac Dixon out of Rothsay, New Brunswick. Puck sent back down. Here's a foot race. Yannick Bassarash bumps his man Stanger and will come up with the puck. He uses his size to his advantage. There's a wrist shot from well out. And that's stopped by Delacroix with 10 minutes and 59 seconds to go in the opening period. So I imagine both coaches, Alex Carter and Alex Arnsworthy, are pretty happy with the way these teams have started here. Had a chance to get a little bit of a sweat going on. And have used pretty well all the lines. This is the thing that you're going to watch out for, is also a little bit of fatigue here. Probably see all the lines being used here at the early going. And we'll see how the rest of the night goes. We'll determine if that fourth line will get some action, depending on, as I mentioned, what goes on, as Blagden will send it down. Out of Prince of Wales, New Brunswick had 1 point in their win over the Tri-Pin Ice. Number 91 in black bumps his man in behind the boards as a Dieppe player goes down. There's Blagden, tried to make a move, but that hit the player. Dieppe Flyer player is a foot race. Bro's going to win it, gets a shot down low, and that is stopped by Delacroix. As the teammates here of the Canada-Cases Valley Kings appreciate the effort as we come up to the 5-minute mark here of the first period. And Elliott was behind the play but did not get the pass. He was hoping for a breakaway, icing the call with 10 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the period. Watch Inside the AUS for a weekly look at the players, coaches, and administrators that make Atlantic University sport the ultimate student-athlete experience. Inside the AUS is available on demand to Bell Light 5 customers in Atlantic Canada on Channel 141, as well as online at belllight.ca/TV1. 5TV1, brought to you by Bell Alliance. Past the 5-minute mark here, and this will roll down, and it goes right on net, so the icing will be waved off as the goaltender came out to play it, Tommy Rowland. Casey makes a nice move, loses the puck in the process. Dominic LeBlanc gets the return pass from Dueron out of Grand Bourgeois, New Brunswick. Here is LeBlanc with a wrist shot, and that's another stop by Delacroix. Rebound, Dominic LeBlanc. Patrick LeBlanc scores 1-0. Five minutes and 32 seconds. The time of the goal. And that's the thing, you have to make sure that not to give the Flyers any second chance opportunities. They will bury them, and they did that way, and they're up 1-0. And they're back looking for more as Forsyth there was trying to get in. It's going to be blown down on the offside just outside the line with 9:19 to go in the first period. We've got some doozies coming your way here in quarterfinal Saturday night from the BMO Center. Up next after this game is the Tricom Thunder taking on the Cole Harbour Storm. Thunder and Storm coming up next. A 2-on-2 now here. There's a shot there. Another loose rebound, but quickly gathered up there by Delacque as Cole Cormier with a wrist shot. And it was there, but the quick reflexes of Delacque covers up as we're 3 seconds shy of the 6-minute mark of the first period. Cole Cormier, Yannick Bastarache, as well as Julia Cormier out here, as well as Forsyth. Delacque seen a lot of rubber here so far. There's Bastarache leading the team in points here in the regular season for the Dieppe Flyers out there. He's parked there in front of the net. Number 17 in that white and black jersey. Jones with some good work. One hands it down into the corner. Following up, trying to center that. Hits the back of the net. It's along the side of the net. Jones once again. Hackett trying to come up with a loose puck. Some hard work here by Jones. Elliott comes out to help out, but it will be the Flyers that get it just outside the line. That hits the Canada Cases player Jones. He was trying to exit the zone. Play is blown down. They'll bring it outside the line on the offside with 8:15 to go in the first period. Patrick LeBlanc, 5:32. 1-0 lead here for the Flyers. Blake did send it in, but that was going to be blown down here. 8:10 to go in the opening period. As I mentioned off the top, these teams do know each other. They play in the same league against each other, so I'm sure that there's probably, the thing is, there's no surprises here. They know what their opposition can do. They've played them a couple of times, and I'm sure that they've looked at the sheets and they know who to stop. It's just a matter of executing the plan now. Here's Blagden now. Pitt flips it high into the bench, over the glass, and out of play. 7:45 to go. We have a lineswomen crew here working this all-important game here in the quarterfinals. A 3-person crew going back to the old days of the National Hockey League. Now they have 2 officials and 2 linesmen. This is the way that it used to be. So it's amazing what's old comes back again. Halfway point in the first period here. Stealing the puck with Starr. Liam Starr out of Quispamsis, New Brunswick. That rush is stopped. Back come the Flyers quickly as Dominic LeBlanc is hit hard into the boards there by Ryder, number 76 there of the Canada Cases Valley Kings. Gallant just holds it along the line. There's a shot, and nice one saved there by Delacque as Arsenal got a chance there from the high slot area. Cole Cormier goes down. He lost his stick on the play, trying to pick it up. Finally he does. In the meantime, the Kings will dump it out. Kings going to try to change here. Here's Dominic LeBlanc with a wrist shot and a nice glove save by Delacque. And man, he is quick with the glove. There was a play a couple of minutes ago. There was a rebound and he got that quickly. And just like that, he brought that one down and no rebound with 6:45 to go in the first period. .6:45 left here in the opening period. A goal by Patrick LeBlanc. Flyers up 1-0 over the Kings. And a battle of New Brunswick, Irving Oil, AAA Bantam Hockey League action. There's a shot. Delacque didn't know where it was. He thought he had it. It was there, but he recovered just in time. And so far, Delacque has been the busier of the 2 goaltenders. 6:32 left to go. Roland hasn't really seen much in terms of action here. The strong Flyers are ever since this morning in their game against the Cougars. They are just running on full cylinders and everything is just clicking. Solid program coached by Alex Armsworthy. And in the meantime, Patrick LeBlanc is going to be asked to say goodbye from the face-off circle. Forsyth will come in, and the Canada-Cases Kings trying to set things up to Elliott. The lead pass there picked off by Lucas Cormier. There's Elliott, has his stick check. Stanger follows up. Blagden now, there's a wrist shot, and Roland sees his first bit of action as he steers that toward the side. There's a wrist shot that deflects high into the netting and out of play. 6:08 left here from quarterfinal number 1 of the 2017 East Coast Ice Jam from the BMO Centre in Bedford, Nova Scotia, proudly presented by Bell 5 TV1, the leaders in sports webcasting in Atlantic Canada. D-up Flyers here, and that gets past the blue line and back down. There's a turnover, and that's not the guy you want to give it to, but luckily he lost the puck as well. Chance for the Kings to regroup and set things up. Here is Forsyth. He makes a nice move, and Pitt gets back there but can't get it. Actually, it did come out the line, and it will be an offside call with 5:47 to go. And you got to like the pace here so far for both teams. They're getting into the game and up and down, but most of the play has been inside the KV King zone. And the Flyers have came away with the goal. And once again, they're doing very well in the face-off circle. Dumped in right onto the stick of Stanger. He'll go near side board. Stopped there by the Flyers. Julian Cormier trying to keep it in, but unable to. Oh, there's a big hit there as Savoie hits his man. Down goes Black, but he gets up. Lead pass picked off by Stanger. He read that very well. Tries to make a move. Did. Regains possession of the puck. But in the meantime, he was forced to the sideboard and not able to get a good scoring chance. Bro looking for the lead pass, the stretch pass there. He's hanging around the center ice area. Savoie falls down as Gilbert took his man down. Delayed penalty coming up, but Kings get possession of the puck. And a tripping call going to Canada-Cases Valley Kings. Gilbert for the trip. 10 minutes and 6 seconds here of the first period. First kill of the afternoon this evening here for the Canada-Cases Valley Kings. And a 14-0 win over the Joan L. Gym Cougars. They were cooking with gas on the power play. Pretty well perfect throughout the game, so we'll see what the Valley Kings can do. The Canada-Cases Valley Kings, that hits the shin guard, goes towards the corner. Falling down there was Dominique LeBlanc. Dick out there trying to get it out there for the Canada-Cases Valley Kings with 4:18 to go. A minute 23 left in the Gilbert penalty. Flyers go center it there, blue ice, but the paddle down blocked that pass, and then Delacroix decides to cover up with 4:12 to go. Watch inside the AUS for a weekly look at the players, coaches, and administrators that make Atlantic University sport the ultimate student-athlete experience. Inside the AUS is available on demand to Bell Line 5 customers, Atlantic Canada, Channel 1 and 4.1, as well as online at bellline.ca/TV1. 5 TV1 is brought to you by Bell Alliance. 4 minutes ago in the first period. Flyers have controlled the play for sure. Only one goal, but they're on the power play. As 56 seconds left in the Gilbert penalty. It goes through the blue ice and back in behind the net. Kings need a desperate change. Now it's a 2-on-1. Here's Sanger. He's also got Jones with him. Can he get it to Jones? No, he takes a shot. And Roland with the save. But in the meantime, it's 4 back here for the Flyers, led by Forsyth. Yannick Bastarache will set to the net. He'll set the screen. There's a shot from back. Just on the top of the face-off circle, and that is stopped by Delacqui with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first period. End-to-end action there, and I was a little bit surprised that the Catawba-Cases Valley Kings, they had to take advantage of the 2-on-1, but they were out there for a long time and probably didn't have enough gas there. But they did get a good shot, and Roland made the save. It's loose there. Oh, it went by Plattis. Plattis there was looking for the goal. He's the only one that didn't get a point this morning against the Jonell Gem Cougars. Could have got a point there and a big goal, but it was just out of his reach. He had a net to look at as the penalty to Gilbert is over. Roland pounding the stick to indicate that we're even Steven with players, 5 aside. Here is Elliott, crosses the line. Pocket picked by Patrick LeBlanc. 2:38 to go left in the first period. Puck just outside the Flyers bench. Catawba-Cases Valley Kings finally get it just inside the line, but it's knocked down by Savoie. Saucer pass intended for Bro. He can't knock it down as the Flyers have iced the puck with 2 minutes and 24 seconds to go in the first period. So I guess when we're talking off the top about the penalty kill being a key for the Catawba-Cases Valley Kings, so far perfect, killing it 1-on-1, and that's the reason why they're still in this hockey game. Nice move by Arsenault. Arsenault with a shot. Delacqui has it, and then does the mannequin challenge. Doesn't want to move in case a puck comes loose into the blue ice, and the referee blows the whistle down. Face off coming up to the right of Delacqui. Jeremy Delacqui, as I mentioned, having a little bit of a tough season in the New Brunswick AAA Major Bantam Hockey League. 3-8 with a 5.43 goals against average, but he's looking pretty good here. Whatever he did to get his reactions going as we're under 2 to go in the first period, it's working very well. Looks pretty quick with that glove and blocker hand. 3 wide there as Elliott will dump it in. He'll go in after it. Bounces off the inboards, and Roland saw Elliott coming in. He'll cover up with 1:48 to go in the period. Really not much in terms of dangerous scoring chances here for the KV Kings. They're hoping to probably try to change things and get a little bit of something positive to take over to the second period. Of course, there's no flooding between the first and second period. Just a little 2-minute intermission for teams to switch sides and get some adjustments. So, really not much you could do in terms of talking strategy here in Major Bantam Hockey rules. 90 seconds to go. Lucas Corbier. Oh, makes a nice wait. There's a shot, and that hits the shin guard out front there of Nick Connors. He's feeling that. He's hurt. Loose puck. Delacqui can't come up the rebound. Scores. In the meantime, Jones was hobbling, and that's pretty well the reason why the Flyers got the goal. Connors really having a hard time even getting any weight on that. A shot there from the point by Lucas Corbier, and it was blocked, but it left him a man short as Jones was just feeling the throbbing pain in his leg. And it's 2-0. We'll say 13:40 to time of the goal. And it makes it 2-0. There's a shot there as we have 1 minute to go in the first period. Lucas Corbier, he's the one that shot that went right into the ankle of Connors. He seems to be okay. He'll stay in the game, but that wasn't big. Owie. Bacharach hits his man. Kings thought there should have been a penalty. Referee says no, play on. We continue on here. Kings get it to the center ice area. Hits the referee. It's just outside the blue line of the Flyers. Petro will get his second here. 25 seconds ago. as the Flyers go back. Elliott takes his man down, and here we go. Bro says to Elliott, not sure what, but anyway, Elliott just got to skate away, but fans giving a little bit of reaction as well as the bench. And this is the second penalty of the period as a boarding penalty to Elliott. $13:20 the time of the LeBlanc second goal, $13:40 the time of the penalty to Elliott. So this is a big kill coming up in the early moments of the second period, which is just 10 seconds away, providing that the Flyers don't score here on this possession. Cross ice pass, scores! Plattis says, I want to get in on the scoring party today, boys, and does, and buries it and makes it 3-0. Power play goal, and you got to feel happy for the kid out of Shediac Cape, New Brunswick. Everybody got a point in the game this morning. This time he says, I want to join the party, and he does with just 5.5 seconds to go. $14:55 on the power play, and all of a sudden the KV Kings are in a hole. And I said that if you take a penalty against the Dieppe Flyers, you're going to pay. As the seconds tick down here in the first period, as Savoie as well as Stanger exchange blows, but nothing is going to result in terms of penalties here as the teams will go to their benches and switch ends, and second period is seconds away from getting underway. Watch the East Coast Sports Show to get up to date on what's happening across the 5 TV1 Sports landscape. The East Coast Sports Show is available on demand to Bell Lie at 5 customers in Atlantic Canada on Channel 1 and 401, as well as online at belllie.ca/TV1. 5 TV1, brought to you by Bell Alliant. Plattis with the goal. 14:55 the time of that goal, and that's a huge one here. And I said this after the end of the first period when the Flyers got up 3-0 on the Joan L. Jim Cougars here, that if the Flyers get 6 goals here by the end of the second period, or even get one early in the third period, it'd be non-stop time. So we'll just keep that in mind. And if it goes to overtime, it's a 10-minute overtime period, and then it would be settled by a shootout. So those, of course, are the playoff rules. A round of 16 is now down to a round of 8, and fatigue probably starting to kick in here. Kings a little bit slow making changes, so we're ready to drop the puck here for the second period between the Flyers and Kings, and just 7 seconds in, offside called. As, of course, as I mentioned, that these teams do know each other, playing in the same division. Flyers doing well in their season, and the Canada Cases Valley. Well, both teams are doing very well, but this is one unit here. The Dieppe Flyers are not only just making a statement for their league, but they're also making a statement for the Atlantics that'll be coming up in March. Just a lot of offensive firepower as the referee has called a penalty on the play. It's going to be an interference penalty. And once again, it's the Canada Cases Valley Kings that is going to the box. 27 seconds. And an interference penalty to Casey. Dieppe Flyers, pardon me, sorry about that, 1 for 2 here on the power play. Couple whacks there as the referee, or pardon me, the lineswoman didn't drop the puck. Couple whacks but there between the guys taking the face off. Flyers here all over the Katabakesis Valley Kings. That's covered up by Delacqui. And I have a funny feeling that the Kings are going to start to get a little bit frustrated, so they must keep their discipline. Try to muster the next goal. They have to get the next goal after they kill this power play, the D-Up Flyers. Blankton wins the draw there for the Katabakesis Kings. And just gets to the line but not out, as doing a great job was Gallant. Gilbert and Gallant here on the point here for the power play for the D-Up Flyers. Alex Arsenault out there, as well as the LeBlancs. Dominic and Patrick, 21 and 22. Here's Gilbert. That hits a stick, goes high towards the corner. Arsenault following up here for the D-Up Flyers. Puck in the skates, and just does get out. And some good play there by Blankton to send it down. He'll go off for a change. 1 minute left, and the penalty to Casey. And Elliott here, he's the top scorer for this Kings, out here trying to kill some seconds here in the penalty to his teammate Casey, and he gets a second chance and whacks it down. 40 seconds left in the Casey penalties. We come up to 13-12 to go in the period. Right on, tape-to-tape pass. Unfortunately, it's the wrong team. Elliott through the blue ice and out the other side. Yannick Bastarache. Cotton weaving, trying to go towards the net. As the Kings player goes down. Bastarache right in the kitchen there of Delacqui. There's a shot, and that's high. They set it up for Cole Cormier, but he went right too high and into the glass. One-timer, there's a shot. Delacqui steers that aside. Elliott chops it, but not out. As Lucas Cormier kept it in. Kings finally get it just outside the blue line. They had a couple of chances as the Casey penalty is over. Kings full strength. 12:22 to go, second period. It's been all Flyers. 3-0 over the Katabakesis Valley Kings. Quarterfinal action from the East Coast Ice Jam on Bell 5 TV1. That hits a stick. Was close to going out of play, but it didn't, so play will continue on. And finally, the Kings just trying to relieve the pressure, but a smart play as they put it right on goal. That waves out the icing, but a bad change as Forsyth was there and he gets the late pass. He'll get it back once again and he'll put it back to the point. Big shot there, fired by Dueron, but it doesn't get through. Kings send two back, odd man rush. Actually, Casey's going to go to the bench for a change. This means Jones will follow up. 11:29 to go. Sent back out to the center ice area. And that's flipped high. Dixon knocked down there by Lucas Cormier. Dueron. Pass a little bit too far of the reach of Bro. No icing as the Flyers will get to it first. Shot from the point there by Cole Cormier. That almost bounced out the other side. It's Julian Cormier, pardon me. 4 minutes gone here in the second period. All D-Up Flyers. Savoie, that hits a couple of skates and goes towards the corner. Originally hit Black and then hit Dixon. He tried to go near far side boards to try to clear. Unsuccessful. Stanger now trying to clear for the Katabakesis Kings. And what this does is if you're spending most of the time defending, it is exhausting because you don't get a chance to make the changes that you want. Because you don't want to leave your team in an odd man situation. Stanger calls for the pass. I imagine they're just going to try to get past center and dump it in. But in the meantime, that hits the netting and goes over the glass. And as expected, the Kings make changes. It's going to be a gassed King team by the time the intermission comes around. As I said in the broadcast against the Jonell Gym Cougars, Dieppe Flyers are basically putting an exclamation point and say, you better give us some respect here. We're doing very well, and we're running on full throttle. And in the meantime, Cole Cormier spins away. He's got the puck. Coming up to 5 minutes gone in the second period. There's a shot that's wide of the net. As Gilbert got all of it, stepped into it, but missed the net by a good margin. Gilbert, cross ice, one-timer by Gilbert, and that stopped as Gallant sent it over to him. And that just goes to show you how things are going here, as Blagden was coming over and jumped over the boards, kind of fell. He's okay. But sometimes, you know, when things are not going your way, things are not going your way here. 9:50 to go. But if anything, the Canada Valley Kings, as the penalties coming up. And this will be the fourth straight as Blagden hooked down his man. Five minutes and 15 seconds here of the second period. Four straight penalties for the Canada Valley Kings. And I know that probably head coach Alex Carter here is probably going to try to say, what do I got to do to get a penalty? Four straight. Flipped out of harm's way for the meantime. But tic-tac-toe passing here by the Dieppe Flyers. A chance to hear for Golding. He scored 2 points in the win over the Tri-Pin Ice. Up to Elliott. Here is Stanger now following up. Wrist shot. That goes through the blue ice. Here's Golding now. He'll just dump it down, try to kill some precious seconds, and go off for a change. And in the meantime, Jones will come on to replace Golding. Cole Cormier with a burst of speed, gets by Ryder. Centering there, a little bit of a high pass, but unable to knock it down there on the doorstep was Dominic LeBlanc. Dueron, tape pass. Gilbert, cross ice, and fanning on it there was Dominic LeBlanc. He's gasped, will go for a change. Here's a break for Elliott. Goes in, Elliott, backhand. Tried to go through the 5-hole, and that doesn't work. Still 3-0. Elliott with a shorthanded chance. 40 seconds left in the Blagden penalty. 8:23 to go in the period. Probably the best chance for the KV Kings all evening there on the shorthanded chance. Yannick Bastarash kicks it behind the net. Wide open, trying to set things up for the one-timer. He's great in the face of Delacroix, waiting for the pass. But it's going to be sent back down the ice with 10 seconds to go in the Blagden penalty. He's off for hooking, and he's getting ready to join the play. That's sent back down to the Flyer zone. He does. He'll go to the bench for a change. On comes Black. Even strength. Flyers still driving. Patrick LeBlanc back to Savoie. Right onto the stick of Lucas Cormier. That's there in the slot. A couple of whacks. And now out of harm's way and towards the near side boards. There's a deflection there by Forsyth. That goes in behind the net. Nice setup there by Savoie, but not getting good composite on it. There was Forsyth. Holding the line is Lucas Cormier. He's gas. He'll go for a change. Savoie, there's a wrist shot and a block by Black, and that gets a reaction from the Kings bench. 7 to go in the second period. There's a shot that's wide. Savoie shot. That hits the skate of Black. 2 blocks there for Black there as he's gotten in the shooting lanes. May have a little bit of a bruised leg, but he's probably feeling pretty good about the 2 blocks he had in this shift. Kings still can't care. There's Savoie centering there and out the other side. Coming up is Julian Cormier. He'll send it behind the boards. Good to see Connors back. He got hurt with a shot there in the first period. He's starting to move around and looks pretty good now. So the leg must be okay. Here's Savoie. blocked, and it will go in behind the net. And Black will try to go far side boards. Cormier once again with pressure. Tons of pressure here as we come up to 6 to go. The Kings must be getting tired. This is a clinic put on here by the D-Up Flyers. The cycle game and the pressure is just phenomenal. High shot wide of the net. Savoie, and in a desperate mood, trying to chop it down, are the Kings. They need a change. They've had players out there for a while. A lot of heavy lungs here. Black tried to flip it high. It's still in the King zone. There's a shot that's blocked. Doesn't get towards the net. Connors once again, that hits a leg of a D-Up player, but Bro felt that and he's going off. Flyers making changes. Here is Patrick LeBlanc, and that's blocked by Black again, and he feels it. A couple of Kings players down on the ice. What a long shift it's been. 5:09 to go. Here is Savoie. There's a wrist shot. And Block with another block. He gets a little bit of that. Centering there, that hits a stick and goes high. Gallant will send it over to Savoie. What pressure here. They try to center it, knocked away by the Kings. Savoie has it along the blue line. Over to Gallant. Wrist shot. That's wide of the net. Kings flip it high, still can't get it out. What pressure here by the Flyers. 4:34 to go. Puck's been down in that zone for almost 2.5 minutes. And finally, the Kings clear it down, and they react, and they get the change. Lead pass here to Dominic LeBlanc. That's offside. As the D-Up Flyers fans react, and what shifts that was, and what pressure that was. 4 minutes and 18 seconds to go, and they spent almost a good 2.5 minutes inside the Canada-Cases Valley King zone. And Coach Alex Carter, almost like working as an icing call in the National Hockey League where the players have to stay on ice, he's going to call a timeout, and this was all forced by the hard work there of the D-Up Flyers. So he calls a timeout because he had some tired players out there. I've heard some great things about the D-Up Flyers hockey program, and this is the first time that I've had a chance to see them play, and they are good as advertised here. Tape-to-tape passes, lots of pressure. And really, Alex Carter didn't really have much of a choice there. They had some tired players that were out there for a real long time with heavy legs and heavy lungs. But the most important thing at the end of the day, it's still 3-0 here for the D-Up Flyers. Face off inside the Flyers zone. That's set down the ice. Here's Bastarache, one-on-one against the goal. He scores! Top shelf. Yannick Bastarache on the breakaway. All that work. And I imagine probably the puck possession there for 2.5 minutes was a little bit of a helpful in that goal. Makes it 4-0. A breakaway there by Yannick Bastarache with 4:09 to go. Roland gets a couple of high fives from his teammates. Probably also saying, hi, my name is too, because they've been down in that zone there of the Kings for a long time. Roland may have forgotten who his teammates are. That's how long they were there. 4-0 is the score. Crisscross there between Cormier and Forsyth. Shot wide of the net. Gallant, pass picked off. Stanger now coming for the Kings. He'll go wide on Gallant. Get possession of the puck with 3.5 to go. There's Star, pardon me. Forsyth quickly up there. Yannick Basharash, the goal scorer, has it checked off his stick, and it's sent back in by the Kings with 3:20 to go. Here is Gilbert, Xavier Gilbert, out of Dieppe, New Brunswick, up the center ice area. Yannick Basharash hits his man, comes up with the puck. He'll bring it over the near side boards. Forsyth takes a bump from Dixon, gets a puck into the Kings zone. Seems like a broken record with 3 to go. In the second period, 4-0 to score. The Dieppe Flyers over the Katabakesis Valley Kings. Gilbert tried to get it past the Flyers and couldn't. Pass partially deflects off a stick of Gilbert. Here is Bro now. Bro gets it up to Patrick LeBlanc. Lucas Cormier gets the return pass. There's a shot, and Delacqui makes the stop. Good rebound control there by the goaltender. Also out of Quispam assist to Brunswick as he steered it towards the corner and didn't leave it in the slot and give the second chance opportunity down low to the Dieppe Flyers with 2:15 to go. Back out to the center ice. The puck goes. Patrick LeBlanc denied, but following up, Lucas Cormier. There's a big shot, and that goes wide of the net. I'm not sure if it hit the shin guard of Gilbert down low. Anyway, it goes wide of the net and still remains 4-0. Settle Dawn was due error. And once again, more pressure here by the Flyers as we come up to 1:45 to go in the period. Couple of players fall down in the play. Duerrion will go cross ice over to Lucas Cormier and dump towards the corner. Plattis with the puck has a goal in this one. One of the Kings players lost his glove. He goes and picks it up. That deflects off a stick and into the netting with 1 minute and 29 seconds left to go in the second period. I mentioned probably pretty good advice here for the Kings here to try to keep the shift short. They were out there for a very long time. A little bit in the middle of this second period, and of course resulted in the Flyers getting their 4th goal. So try to keep the short shifts here and try to maybe get some wind here because they are badly being outplayed. But all credit to the Flyers here for doing a bang-up job. They've came to Bedford, Nova Scotia, and they brought their A game pretty well from the start. They had a 6-3 win on day one here against the Landwork Gulls. Top team in the New Brunswick League, taking on the number 2 team of the Nova Scotia Major Bantam Hockey League as that puck comes out. Last minute of play here in the second period. Black, who had a pretty good period here, he made a couple of blocks, gets a shot from well out, then gives a little bit of a whack towards Rowan going by. Actually, that was Jones there. But Flyer players weren't too happy about it. 49.2 seconds to go. Cooler heads prevail. Pardon me, I have to make a correction here. The Dieppe Flyers are second in the New Brunswick AAA Bantam Hockey League. It's the Fredericton Blues that are number 1. So it was a battle of number 2 teams that actually opened up the tournament. And even in that game, the Flyers beat a very good Landwork Gulls team, and there's a big hit that gets the reaction of the Kings. 25 seconds ago to finish by point. They scored 6 against the Landwork Gulls, who have super goaltending, and Gavin McGinn and Jacob Gooby. Gooby gave up 6. So they have just found the back of the net here in Bedford. Here is Arsenault with 8 seconds to go. One last rush here for the Flyers. Rolls in on Delacqui, and he covers up. 3 seconds to go in the second period. And everybody takes a deep sigh of relief. I bet you probably even the Dieppe Flyers are gassed. Not much in terms. Just 4 penalties on the board, and if all against the Kings, the pucks drop, and that will end the second period. And this game has been all Dieppe Flyers pretty well from puck drop. But they have a 4-goal lead after 30 minutes of play. So they're going to flood the ice. And of course, we're going to be back here with period number 3 coverage of the 2017 East Coast Ice Jam quarterfinal action from Sheet B in less than 10 minutes here on 5TV1. I couldn't believe they got 6 against Landworks, and that's a pretty good team itself.
Who's KVK's team's been good since I've seen that? It's a bad game.
coffee and a chocolate bar. And
Well,
amazingly,
energy, yeah.
yeah, amazingly still, it hasn't really helped. Third period just set to get underway. Quarterfinal action. Major Bantam division from the East Coast Ice Jam in Bedford, Nova Scotia. Dieppe Flyers leading 4-0. The Flyers, they have lit the lamp very well here in this tournament. They started off with 6 against the Landwork Gulls Wednesday afternoon in the first game of the Major Bantam Hockey League, as well as the Ice Jam, and got 14 this morning against the Joan L. Gem Cougars. A high shot there by the Kings, and that's stopped by Roland, and he's getting a little bit of a test here early in the third period. He has, of course, been pretty well a spectator for this one. A lot of work here by Jeremy Delacuy, the Canada-Cases Valley Kings goaltender. 22 seconds gone here in the third period. And keep in mind that if it gets to be a 6-goal lead here by the Dieppe Flyers, will be non-stop for the rest of the period. And the way that the Flyers have been playing and the pressure that they've had, wouldn't surprise me if it gets there. The net's off its mooring, so we'll blow play down. 42 seconds gone in the period. And what's also been not helping the Canada-Cases Valley Kings is Flyers have yet to take a penalty here in the game. You got to wonder if the referee is going to maybe try to level things out. 4 penalties against the Canada-Cases Valley Kings. So you pretty well know that possibly the Flyers may get the next one. That actually hits Blagden. I'm not sure if he was expecting the pass or not. He'll come up with it and then send it down. Had a chance to watch some of the action here in between periods. And they've got a barn burner on sheet C that Joel McDougall is calling in Major Midget Hockey League. Cape Breton West Islanders and the Pictou County Weeks were tied at 2. The last I look as that rolls down the ice. Icing waved off. Good speed here. Connors lost the puck. Dangerous there for the Flyers. And now all of a sudden Goulding has the puck here for the Kings. Hits the glove of Gilbert and goes in behind the net. Minute and a half gone in the third period. See if the Kings can actually generate some offense here. No, it's going to be sent back to the center ice area. Pitt dumps it in. And a little bit of a line change here for the Kings. Flyers are also changing. Lead pass, tape to tape to Cole Cormier. Makes a nice move. Cuts toward the middle. Wrist shot by LeBlanc. As Dominic LeBlanc got all of it, but it was wide of the net. Coming up to 2 minutes gone in the second period. 4-goal game. Flyers over the Kings in a battle of New Brunswick AAA Major Bantam Hockey League action from the East Coast Ice Jam. Starr just gets it over the line. Here's Casey coming in. Centering there, but there's nobody there in the vicinity there for the Kings. But can they keep it alive? Yes, they do, but they put it right onto the tape of LeBlanc. He puts a back pass right on the Stanger. That's a good pass, but unfortunately, he's not on your team. And the Kings get a chance to score, but Roland shuts the door. 2 minutes and 30 seconds gone in the period. Here's an interesting stat that's given to me. We want to say thank you to the statistician here. Shots on goal, 30-6. Flyers over the Kings. 2 actually. 30-2. 30-6 after 2 periods. 17:23 to go in the third period as we have a penalty coming up. It's going to be an interference penalty. And it's going against the Kings. That's their 5th straight. Jones going to the box for interference. 2 minutes and 42 seconds of the 3rd period. And that has to frustrate Alex Carter. 5 straight going against his team. Kings trying to make a change, but of course it's not their home game, it's the Flyers, so referee will tell them to go back. Last change belongs to the Flyers. So Jones will go to the box, he'll serve 2 or less. Dump down, off the draw. So allow the Flyers to come out. And with some speed, when the break's on, is Patrick LeBlanc. Casey fighting there along the boards. Casey also there for the Flyers is Arsenault, and he comes up with it. He'll go cross ice, a pass there off the stick of Duheron. And having a chance to clear is Kyle. And Chess gets it out. Actually, pardon me, it was Ryder. And now, the referee and the lineswoman, pardon me, are over there. And is a penalty going to be assessed to Duheron? And yes, this will be the first penalty here. And all of a sudden, that gets a little bit of a reaction from the KV Kings fans. So that will even things up. 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Time of the penalty to Duheron. So it will be for a side. And about 1 minute and 17 seconds, the Kings will have their first power play of the game, and it comes in the early minutes of the 3rd period. So we've got some open ice here for the Speedsters to show what they got for not only the fans back watching, but also the scouts here. Rowan has lost his stick. Chance for the Kings here as the stick is behind the net. Can they capitalize on it? That goes right at the feet of Bastarash, and getting in behind was Forsyth. Trying to center, goes tape to tape, and that deflects high. And Stanger goes down. They'll go across ice. Here's Savoie. And right on the doorstep was Bastarash, and Delacroix with the stop. 15:48 to go in the period, 30 seconds left in the Jones penalty, and 1 minute and 5 left in the roughing penalty to Duheron out of Grand Barachois, New Brunswick. Four minutes and 12 seconds gone here in the 3rd period, still 4-0. And even though the Kings are facing a real tough team, it could have been worse for them. It's long but over, but give a golden star here to Delacroix. He has played phenomenal in nets. The Quispamsis, New Brunswick native has made a couple of fast acting saves as the penalty to Jones is over, and it's the first power play here for the Kings. Elliott dropped it off, but there's nobody there, so the Flyers have all kinds of time and room to get it back down to the Kings zone. Nice tip there by Goulding towards the boards. Elliott hit by Arsenault, and Elliott goes down as the Flyers bench reacts to that one. Past the 5-minute mark here in the 3rd period. Kings just can't seem to muster any offense. As I mentioned, only 6 shots so far compared to the over 30, and that's the last that we have counted so far. 2 Kings players there looking for a loose puck, but it's going to be Dominic LeBlanc that comes up with it. Back to Gilbert. He faked, pass there right into the feet of LeBlanc, so Elliott will come up with it to go behind his own net. No, he'll circle it to Dixon, and he'll cycle it right onto the stick of Cormier as they turn it over, and a penalty called here. And now, once again, the Kings fans not happy with the call, as it's another penalty going against them, as Blankton will go to the box for the hook. That's his second hooking penalty of the hockey game. Time of it is 5 minutes and 47 seconds. You think about it, you get 6 penalties against you, that's like 12 minutes in penalties, and that's pretty well a good portion of the period of a hockey game that you're killing penalties when it all works out at the end of the day. Shot from the point, it's in the blue ice, a couple of whacks there by the DF Flyers, and Delacroix has it. And in the meantime, a couple of the Kings players not really happy with Mr. Yannick Bastarache and out of Bucktouche, New Brunswick. And it's going to be a 4-minute spearing penalty as we get the official announcement. And that's a tough pill to swallow. You're down by 4, you need to generate offense, and now you're going to have to spend the next 4 killing a penalty. But of course, if the Flyers score, we'll bring the second one down to 2. So they're going to try to score early, but fending on that one is Lucas Corbier. He makes a nice move. Was at the top of the face-off circle. He'll send it down low to Forsyth. There's Lucas Corbier. Once again, makes a nice move. There's a shot. It's outside, close to the goal area. And that's going to be knocked down by Savoie. He can't play it, but it's touched there by Lucas Cormier. And they'll bring it back as it was knocked down by a high stick. 13 minutes and 21 seconds to go. Join 5, TV1 Scott Squires as he chats with Cyril Lunny and CTV Sideline Scoop each Monday at 8:40 Atlantic, 9:10 Newfoundland Labrador time. Get up to date at Bell Line 5 TV's local sports coverage with Scott and Cyril. That's a Sideline Scoop Monday mornings on CTV Morning Live. It's in the slot. Savoie scores 5-0, and that will bring the first penalty down to 2 minutes. So they'll still have a man advantage. Savoie with the goal. As mentioned, 6 minutes and 10 seconds on the power play. And now we're getting into a little bit of a danger zone here for the Kings. The next goal means it's a 6-goal differential, which means that the period will become non-stop the rest of the way. If anything, they want to make sure that they prevent that from happening. So the spearing penalty to Blankton is now down to 2 minutes. There's 1:53 left here as the DF Flyers get things going on the power play. Savoie sends it down low in to LeBlanc. He gets the return pass. That shot hits the boards out front, comes in the blue ice, and Delacroix covers up. 12 minutes and 49 seconds left to go in the period. And I'm sure Alex Carter is trying to make sure that the shift stays short here. It's been pretty well the play controlled at one end of the ice throughout the entire hockey game. And when you get in a situation like that, you're going to have to take penalties, or sometimes penalties happen. You're not taking them on purpose, of course, but because of the pressure that you got, sometimes your legs stop moving and makes for trouble. Lucas Cormier cutting towards the net, but can't get the finish that time. It's along the back of the net. And in the meantime now, of course, with a 5-goal lead here, tippers start to flare as the Kings a little bit upset with the way this has gone for them here tonight. They came in with great expectations and have seen it disappeared, and now Golding's going to get it, and it's a check to the head, so it's going to be a 2-man advantage as all of a sudden the discipline bug is coming and hurting the Canada-Cases Valley Kings, and another check to the head penalty. So a parade to the box, and Alex Carter said, look at the penalties. 7-1 for my team. When am I going to get a break? I'm sure that's what he's saying. Yeah, frustration. As you can see, the body language, the arms moving around of Alex Carter. Not happy one bit. And Star's going to go off with a 10-minute misconduct to boot. So the penalty box is full of Kings right now. 2-man advantage. Flyers have a chance here to, they've got this one iced, but of course they want to kill time. The best way to do it is to actually get another goal and make it non-stop. We'll see if they can do that on the man advantage. 58 seconds left in the Blandin penalty and 3 minutes and 36 seconds left in the Goulding penalty. A 10-minute misconduct assessed as well. So one of the Kings players will be pretty well an observer. He won't be able to come back until the later stages of this one. There's a shot down low by Cole Cormier. And the Kings find an opening and send it down. And Roland will play it towards the corner. I'm not sure if there's much in terms of communication. Here's Dixon coming in. Wrist shot, that's wide of the net. 11:25 to go. 14 seconds left in the Blagden penalty. A night that the KV Kings would like to forget as Blagden's penalty's over, so it's going to be a 5-on-4. Actually, still a delayed penalty, so it's still... No, it will be a 5-on-4 here as... Here is Cormier now. Wrist shot tipped, and that's denied by Delacroix. And the Kings like the play here. Savoie, late change here. He's back on the point along with Juliet Cormier. 10:37 to go. Forsyth, cross ice, scores! Alex Arsenault. Nine minutes and 26 seconds of the third period. And it's a power play goal. And this Flyer team with firepower is up by a 6-pack. So now the rest of the period will be non-stop. 6-goal lead, 6-0. Lineswoman goes over to the timekeeper's bench. And having a little bit of issue here with the timekeeper's bench. 10.5 to go. Alex Carter yelled out and was moving his hands to indicate non-stop time, so even he wants this one to end. He wants to end the suffering for sure. Juliet Cormier goes over to Savoie. Plattis, he's got a goal in this one. Cormier. There's Patrick LeBlanc. It's in the blue ice. A couple of whacks and smothered there by Delacroix. "10 minutes and 6 seconds. And for some reason the clock is stopped and the referee's going to come over and say it's a 6-goal differential, so the clock should start. And now it's underway, so halfway point reached and counting down to the end of this one. 6-0 the score. And still a power play at a 5-on-3. The triangle set up here by the Kings. There's Forsyth. Oh, great balls of fire. He couldn't connect with that one. 9:35 to go. All Flyers, and they pretty well have now got themselves into the final four. We started the day with 16. They'll be one of the fours and knocked down with a high stick. They'll bring it outside the line. 9:18 to go and counting. And the thing is that I know what the message was to the KV Kings at the intermission was try to win the third period. Have something positive here. But you also got to think that there could be some carryover when these teams meet, possibly in the playoffs or even future matchups as they play in the same league. And there could be some carried over emotions into that one as Casey falls down. That's the type of night it's been for the Kings. Stanger gets in as Casey will go off for a change. 8.5 to go. And back forward is Lucas Corbier for the Flyers. And coming in with Squires, he's just looking to nail somebody with a jersey. Has his stick, it's Stanger that's looking for a penalty. Has his stick slashed out of his hands. Looks to the referee for a call. And he'll just go off as the frustrations start to mount for the KV Kings. As we come up to 8 minutes to go here in the third period, non-stop the rest of the way. Centered right up the middle, picked off there by Arsenault. He knocks Dixon down. 7:57 to go. As Gallant will come up with the puck near our broadcast location. The referee jumps out of the way, almost got hit by the puck, goes in towards the corner. 7:47 to go. Right there is Starr as a couple players fall down. Ref telling them to move it, and they do. And it's shot there by the Flyers back to Gallant. He'll settle it down, go cross ice to Joubert, and that's along the ice, and that's a stick save there by Delacroix set towards the corner. And now the Kings are even strength. It felt like a long time that they were killing penalties, and that's the case. And another penalty coming up as the Flyers have possession of the puck. And the look on Alex Carter's face pretty well says it all. Extra attacker on, and putting it in the net was Patrick LeBlanc, but that's not going to count as the Kings got possession of the puck, and I'm kind of surprised that a couple of the Kings players didn't go over there. And another penalty, and the parade to the box here for the Kings. They're spending pretty well a good portion of this third period in the box. The Star's going to go off for the cross check. We'll call it 13 minutes and 15 seconds and counting. 6:35 to go in the period. A long night for the Canada-Casas Valley Kings. And the thing is, the Kings burned their time out. They needed to there in that second period, so even if they have some tired penalty killers, there's really nothing that Alex Carter can do about it now. 6:10 to go. Patrick LeBlanc will go back to Savoie, gets the return pass. There's a shot, that hits the goal post. 6 to go. Savoie, a little out of his reach, but he comes back down with it. 4. And in the meantime, another penalty coming up. With 5:46 to go. And this one is going against the Flyers. And it's going to be a cross-checking penalty going to LeBlanc. 14:25 the time of that one. And in the meantime, there's a minute and 10 left in the Canada-Casas Valley penalty to Starr. As we are counting down to the end of this one. We're not sure who the opposition is going to be for the Flyers. We've got the action tomorrow morning here on Bell 5 TV1. But the Flyers want to make sure that everybody in the major Bantam division of the East Coast Ice Jam beware. A solid team. Oh, there's a hit by Blagden. And things are going to start to get a little bit chippy. And here we go. The Donnybrook and the Tippers are going here as the linesman, and now things are getting a little bit out of control here as noise is being made and punches are being thrown. Things out of control here, and I imagine probably Blagden's probably done for the night. The Kings like it, a little bit of the fans like it, That Blankton will hit the showers first. And now you pretty well see why they do the non-stop time for purposes like that. The game is out of hand and they're just trying to make sure. But of course the Catawba Valley Kings in a couple of minutes from now will not have anything really to play for. Roland comes over to the penalty bench area. And pretty soon the Kings may be running out of players here. The penalty box may be full here, but of course we're going to wait. There's 3 in the box here, the D-Up Flyers. And I imagine probably going to just try to take as much time here. It's non-stop time and maybe try to send the players off. And yes, Savoie is going to be done for the night. He gets a escort there by the lineswoman. And he'll be making his way as the Catawba Valley Kings fans make a little bit of noise. So still fireworks still to come. And of course in the meantime the clock still goes on. And I'm sure that Alex Carter is now having a conversation with the referee, and one of the lineswomen is there as well. Not sure if it's a stalling tactic to try to get to the end, but that would be probably a pretty good way to have the hockey game end so that none more of what we just saw happens again. They might have got a little bit of the reaction of the crowd here, but you kind of don't like to see fighting in the Major Bantam Hockey League. It's sort of like a dying art. Of course, the goons and the rough players, the tough players, don't often see that. You pretty well have to have skill. You pretty well have to have size as well as skill. 2 minutes to go. And once again, now the coach here of the Flyers, Alex Armsworthy, having a few words now. Clock going down, and I imagine probably that whether we like it or not, this is the way that this is going to end. Down to 100 seconds as it keeps on going. In the meantime, Alex Carter will gather his troops together. Be interesting to see what time's left on the clock if we do get a chance to drop the puck. But in the meantime, it keeps on going down. The conversation with the official and the coach of the D-Up Flyers continues. And I'm not sure if they're just doing this just to get the clock to go down and end the game, but it'd be pretty good to make sure that nothing more happens, because you also don't want to face any discipline issues. I'm not sure. We talk about the discipline issues for the East Coast Ice Jam, but if these teams face each other in regular season play, as we're less than a minute to go here in the third period, and things starting to get a little bit lippy here. A lot of unhappy people here in the crowd tonight. And D-Up Flyers will call a timeout, so I have a funny feeling that that will be the end of this one. So this one will end 6-0. And that's a pretty good move there by the coach, Alex Armsworthy, to call a timeout. He doesn't want to get any of his players because he needs all his players for tomorrow as the clock winds down to end a dominant performance from start to finish. Delacroix already at center ice, ready to do the handshakes as the horn goes to end this one. And Roland will get a shutout. Back-to-back shutouts there for the D-Up netminders. And we have to make sure, nope, the officials say no handshakes. He's just sending them off right now. The Catawba Valley Kings want to shake hands. And here come the D-Up players. Are they going to let them? We just hope that there's no fireworks as they do shake hands. And meanwhile, the fans sort of give a clap here for them shaking hands. And the coaching staffs from the respective teams are getting together here. And so we'll stick around for the players of the game presentation. To get as far as you did in this tournament for the Cantabacasis Valley Kings, you have nothing to hang your head down for. Sometimes you run into a team that is just going and just clicking and on fire and are a hot team and have nothing to be upset about here, as the Players of the Game Awards have been given to the official and they'll make the announcements now. Delacqui, and that is well earned, and he's getting lots of respect there from the D-Up Flyers. It could have been a little bit even higher in terms of that. Made a couple of key saves, and he's got good reflexes, and he's got a bright future probably. I'm not sure if he's a first or second year player, but he's got a bright future, and he'll do very well if he grows up to the Major Midget League next year for the team in the Cantabacasis area. So the final 6-0. It was pretty well a one-sided affair from opening puck drop to the finish. We want to thank you for tuning in to us. That's one quarterfinal done here on sheet B, and we're getting ready for the second one. And that will feature the Cole Harbor taking on the Tri-Com. Cole Harbor Storm versus the Tri-Com Thunder, and we'll have that one for you, and that will be coming up at 8:45. So thank you for watching on behalf of the entire Bell 5 TV1 team. Stan Hobson saying so long. Thank you for watching here on Bell 5 TV1. Good night, folks.